Hello， 大家好，我是 Eric 长安万年。加拿大的特伦顿空军基地啊，位于这个加拿大安大略省的这个 Queen West 市，早在1929年的时候就开始建造和使用了。今天呢，它是加拿大这个皇家空军啊最大的这个空军军事基地了。它承担着加拿大空军啊在国内和海外的这个军事活动的中心的这个职能。27岁的 Jessica Lloyd 是附近小镇这个 Belleville 的这个居民啊，同时呢，她也是特伦顿空军基地的一个普通下士女兵。本来呢都一切岁月静好啊，但是突然间在2010年的这个1月28号，在给一个朋友发了一条短信之后，他从此就人间蒸发了，杳无音讯。在家人报警之后，警察在他家附近啊，就一处比较泥泞的这个地方啊，找到一些据说啊还蛮特别的这个车轮胎的这个印记。但是除此之外呢，并没有获得什么特别有用的这个线索。1周之后 Jessica 依然是毫无音讯，那么警察开始重视起来了。但是苦于啊没有更多的这个线索，所以只能说是用最笨的这个办法，就从车轮胎上面下手。从2月4号开始，在他家的这个高速公路上面设立了一个检查站，来检查往来的这个车辆，寻找那个很特别的那个车轮胎。在2月4号的那个晚上，特伦顿空军基地的那个指挥官 Russell Williams 啊上校啊路过了这个检查站。这个 Russell 啊是加拿大空军可以说最牛的飞行员之一啊，有着空军闪亮之星的这个称号。他为国际上的很多的这个政要执行过这个 VIP 的飞行任务。他载过像什么英国女王啊、爱丁堡公爵啊、菲利普王子啊、加拿大的总督啊，甚至还有加拿大的这个总理，并且啊已经被推荐要去做加拿大的这个参谋总长。总之呢，是一个特别牛的人。上校呢可以说非常平易近人啊，接受了警察的这个检查，只是说家里的这个小孩生病了，希望警察快一点啊，他着急回家。但是警察一查吓一跳，发现了上校开的这辆车，就是这个尼桑 Pathfinder 的这个车的这个轮胎啊，竟然和失踪的 Jessica 家门口的那个轮胎印记的那个轮胎一模一样。于是呢，3天之后，他被安大略省的这个高级警长 James Smith 传唤到警局协助调查。
You just had to see Russ.
The guy I was speaking with whatever night that was Russ as well.
Oh yeah.
And he took every number I had.
Yeah. Now they were doing some pretty thorough interviews that night.
Yeah, absolutely. I was
All right.
glad to see it.
I'm just gonna move your gloves here. That's a little microphone, just to make sure there's nice and clear. As you can see here, everything in this room is videotaped and audio taped.
Check.
You ever been interviewed by the police in a room like this before?
I
Or?
have never been interviewed like this.
Oh no.
画面左边里面这个正在看镜头的就是我们这个嫌疑人 Russell Williams， 而处于小画面里面啊，现在穿着西装的这位呢就是个 James Smith 警长啊。Russell 进来坐下之后呢，就看起来似乎还是蛮轻松的啊。另外一点不知道大家注意到了没有，就是跟美国不一样啊，这个加拿大的审讯呢，警察基本上都是穿着西装进审讯室的。虽然在美国，比如像 FBI 有时也会穿西装，但是基本上呢还是以便装为主的。就警察和 FBI 实际上都有他们自己的制服，但是为了麻痹这个被审的这个人啊，让他们觉得就是没有那么严肃啊，让他觉得这个事儿没那么重要啊，放松一点，给他们这种感觉。所以一般来说都是不穿制服的。一般来说呢，都穿的跟个普通的上班族一样。就像 Smart Casual 是比较常见的这个衣着的风格，而加拿大这些警察的审问专家好像就特别偏好西装。
Okay. No. Let's get this set up here.
I guess the closest interview by NIS for top secret clearance.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, again, Russell, I appreciate you coming in. An investigation like this, I mean, I'm sure you can appreciate it's been big news.
这个 Russell 作为空军的这个高官啊，空军基地的这个指挥官呢，当然是拥有最高机密这个级别的这个许可的。不过他说这句话呢，就很值得玩味。因为为什么？首先提出来这个时机，一进门呢，警察就很清晰的告诉了他啊，这个房间里有麦克风在录音啊，有摄像头在录像，那么肯定也就意味着啊，咱们现在这个谈话肯定是会被录下来的，那么可能后面就会有用嘛。这个呢是警察的职责，他必须要很清晰的让受审的这个人知道这些事情。那么作为完全另外一个系统，也就是军队系统的一个高层 Russell Williams， 就是从 bureaucracy， 就是不同官方机构对于官方机构的这个角度来讲啊，你可以说他也有责任告诉警察他的这个身份和他这个保密级别。但是我们再看一遍他这个话是怎么说的啊
Interview by NIS for top secret clearance.
Oh yeah.
大家注意他的这个表情，在说这个话的时候，他这个表情几乎是一种 很无辜的感觉。而且说完之后还有一个摊手这样的一个动作，这个表情和动作表现出来就是，不是我想说啊，就是我也不想这么官僚这做派，但是呢没办法，我是军队的一个上校啊，我是空军基地的指挥官，我职责所在，所以你跟我谈话呢，是最高机密啊，我不是所有的问题都会回答，不是所有的事情都可以告诉你的。而且相信大家也能听出来，这句话说出来，除了就像他说履行自己的这个职责之外啊，还有另一层威胁的意思，就你小心点问的问题啊，并且同时呢也是在提醒对方自己的这个身份。但是大家请注意啊，这个时候他俩才刚刚进来嘛，对吧？警察还没有问到什么关键的啊、敏感的、有必要让他说出这句话的问题，是他抢先把这句话说出来，摆在那边，看你警察怎么办。对于警察来说，保密级别这个事情呢，确实是个 pain in the ass 就会很麻烦，因为现在要审你嘛。如果一问到关键问题，对方就合情合理的拿保密的这个事情来顶他。比如说针对任何一个犯罪的调查，构建时间线呢，都是警察最重要的事情之一。那么警察问他，你2月4号晚上8点你在哪里？对方直接回答，这个不能告诉你，保密。这就没法审了嘛，对吧？同时呢，对方上校的这个身份呢，也是远高于审他的这个警察的这个高级警长的。一般人呢，可能真的确实会怂。我们看看这个警察是怎么回应的。
Oh yeah. All right. Well, again, Russell, I appreciate you coming in.
警察呢一定是有备而来的，就是他知道他会这么说，所以警察采取的这个策略呢，就是我不理他。哦耶，是吗？不是呀这种明白了知道了的这种语气，而是哦耶有点疑问的这种感觉，就意思那又怎么样？甚至还可以说有点戏谑的这种感觉。便大家听到了吗？面对着这样一个刚刚提醒了自己他有最高保密级别的一个军队高层，一个上校，这个警察呢坚持叫他的名字Russell， 而不是说尊称他的军衔像 Colonel Williams Williams 上校。所以警察的这个态度也很鲜明，就你现在在我的地盘里面，对吧？你不在你基地里面，你少给我来这一套。你现在就是个平民 Russell， 你可以忘了你什么 Williams 上校的这种身份啊。然后我们听听这个被怼了的上校听到这句话之后的这个反应。
An investigation like this, I mean, I'm sure you can appreciate it's been big news.
他把本来放在桌子上这个手机放在地上了。他这么做的原因就我们回看一下他刚刚进来的这个时候。
You just have a seat there, Russell.
The guy I was speaking with on whatever night that was Russ as well.
Oh yeah.
And he took every number I had.
Yeah. Now they were doing some pretty thorough interviews that night. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I was
Right.
glad to see it.
I'm just going to move your gloves here. That's a little microphone, just to make sure there's nice and clear.
他们刚刚进来的时候，上校呢先是把自己的这个手套和应该是手机先放在桌子上了。警察提醒他把手套拿走，这个原因是警察说的嘛，一会挡着这个麦克风，二呢是从审讯的这个心理学上面来讲桌前方任何的这个东西都一定程度上会给对方心理上造成一个防御的一个屏障这样的感觉。我平时在生活中我跟人谈话的时候，我其实经常都会很刻意的给对方一杯水。如果说双方呢就是这样双手拿着一个杯子放在自己的这个身前，那代表他呢还是处于一个防御的一个状态，那我就会想办法去缓和或者说我换个角度去问这个问题。什么时候他把这个杯子放在一旁了，那代表他不需要这个防御了，那他有可能是准备好进攻了，那我就做好准备去接招，也有可能就是开始对我说的这个话感兴趣了，那我的方向就是对的，那我要进一步的加强。这里一开始警察让他把这个放在桌子上的手套拿走呢，其实也是同样的道理。不过一个放在旁边的一个小手机其实无所谓，一是它太小了，二是它本来就在旁边，所以警察连提都没有提。而 Russell 在这里听完警察说过这个话之后，把手机拿下来然后放在地上，这个呢在我看来就是属于心理学上讲的这个 overcompensation 就是过长心理所导致的一个行为吧。因为他在这里一个很夸张的一个动作，把小小的一个手机放在地上，这样就是一个很过度的一个方式去做一个对方完全没有提到的一个事情，也完全没有必要去做的事情。他通过做这个去弥补心理其他方面的缺失，去掩盖自己的紧张，同时呢也是为了给对方好感。这个视频才放了28秒，我就已经开始说了这么一大堆了。不过确实一开始这里的信息量很大并且在我看来前面这一部分的交锋其实非常非常的重要。两个人之间经过这个短暂的交锋之后，其实所这个定下来的这个人设这个基调就有可能会定下整个后面审讯的这个基调。
An investigation like this, I mean, I'm sure you can appreciate it's been big news, especially down Belleville way. And, you know, obviously our approach to cases like this is that we don't give up on somebody being alive until we get evidence that they're not. So because of that, we're treating Jessica's case as an emergent situation, obviously. So we're fast forwarding things that we might normally take our time with, and that's why we're here on a Sunday afternoon. So again, I appreciate it. We're going to do a pretty thorough interview today. Okay. And the reason for that is because the last thing we want is to be calling people back again and again and again. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over a number of things, and I'm going to explain what all those are to you. Okay. I'm a big coffee guy. I don't know if you're a coffee guy or not, but I didn't want to drink in front of you. So
no, I appreciate that.
All right, go ahead.
I could definitely. Are they black?
Yeah, they're just black with sugar.
Definitely. I just started my probably have it a little bit.
Started your what, sorry?
Gum. Just
okay.
first piece of gum.
Well, there's napkins there if you want to toss it or whatever.
I appreciate that.
这个 Russell 一看就是一个老飞行员了，就是一直不停的在嚼嘴里的这个口香糖，看起来还有点屌屌的这个感觉。大家知道老飞行员都有嚼口香糖的这个习惯吧？这其实是因为飞机啊，就即使今天这个科技非常成熟了，这个加压机舱里面的这个压力呢，其实也都不是恒定的。大家坐飞机的时候，起飞啊或者降落的时候，估计也都经历过那种耳朵很不舒服的那种现象吧。其实就是因为机舱里面的这个气压的这个上下改变所导致的啊。当耳朵不舒服的时候呢，我们乘客可以闭住嘴巴，捏住鼻子，然后根据压力的这个情况，像鼻子里面啊，或者说是去吹气，或者说吸气，去平衡耳朵里面的这个压力，让自己舒服一点。另外可以做的尝试呢，就是去嚼口香糖。而你想飞行员嘛，他驾驶飞机，他两个手都站着的比较忙嘛，他不可能一直过来捏鼻子嘛，所以他们都会长时间的去嚼这个口香糖。时间长了之后呢，这就变成一个习惯了。
I have a simple rule when I talk to people. It's I'm sure you're the same way. I treat everybody with respect. I don't want to ask you to do the same for me. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off by going through what your rights are, okay? Just like everybody else, okay? You're obviously not under arrest here today, okay? Anytime you feel you want to leave here, you feel free to do so. The door's not locked. Teresa will walk you down the lobby anytime you want, okay? If there's anything that comes up in our interview today, Russell, that you feel you want to talk to a lawyer about, you just let me know, okay? And the reason for that is I want to explain to you exactly what's going on here, okay? Jessica Lloyd is one of 4 cases that
这里常看我的视频的朋友应该就会明白，因为他现在还没有被逮捕嘛，没有被控告，所以他现在来这里呢是自愿的来配合警察来调查的。那么既然是自愿来的，那根据加拿大的这个权利与自由宪章，也就相当于一个加拿大版的一个美国宪法第5修正案和这个米兰达权利啊，他就可以自愿的离开，同时也可以选择去不回答警察的问题，不配合警察，沉默啊、拒绝啊什么的，也可以去选择跟律师去咨询，甚至可以叫一个律师过来去陪同他的这个审问。跟以前的那些审讯视频一样，咱们先看一下这个审讯室。这个审讯室呢就很标准很小啊，颜色单一，也没有什么装饰，没有窗户，这都是为了把房间里面这个干扰降到最低，同时呢去增强那种无处可逃的那种压力的那个感觉。同时我们注意上校后面的这个墙上似乎是有那种消音用的那种板啊，这个效果很好啊，这个房间里面非常的安静，外界的噪音进不来，就不会去干扰里面的人，同时里面受审的这个人也不用担心自己说的这个话被外面听到啊。我们这段录音的这个清晰度呢因此非常的高，不像很多在美国的那种审讯啊，就是视频老是有噪音，就是老是嗡嗡嗡嗡嗡，老感觉好像就跟隔壁是不是有人在拿吸尘器打扫卫生在吸尘一样的那种感觉。这个桌子呢它是靠墙摆的这个审问人和被审问之间也没有什么东西隔挡，双方全身的这个身体语言呢是完全暴露在对方的这个眼睛里面的，双方的这个距离呢也非常完美，我说过完美这个距离大概是 4.5 英尺，也就1米多一点啊，大约呢就是在我屁股不离开椅子这个前提下，我身体向前前倾，我可以触碰到对方的身体的这个距离。审问专家坐的这个椅子是带轮子的，可以随便移动，那么后面需要施压的时候他就可以找机会去靠近。而被审问这个上校的这个椅子是没有轮子的，它是动不了的，而且现在其实已经被压到这个角落了，有轮子它也动不了。另外上校坐在这个墙角呢门在审问专家身体的这个后方，那么这样就是他可以看得到门，但是过不去，因为被审问专家挡住了这个去路嘛，这个我已经说过很多回了目的就是要给他制造心理的这种感觉，就是我得解决了面前这个警察我才可以离开的这种感觉，一切都非常的完美。这个加拿大总体上在审讯方面确实比美国要好的很多了，当然因为他的警察的工资也高的很多，培训做的也比美国好，审讯室你看也都很标准不像美国真的是特别的参差不齐行，我们接着看。
We're currently investigating, okay? And essentially what's happened is over the past about 4 or 5 months, there have been 4 occurrences that, like I said, that we're looking into. 2 of those occurrences occurred in September of 2009. And very briefly, they were up in the Tweed area. They involved somebody entering 2 different women's houses in the evening hours and committing sexual acts. Okay.
Tweed 呢是一个小镇啊，距离 Russell 所任职的这个空军基地呢有大概60公里左右。Russell 呢是有2个房子，其中一个呢就在这个 Tweed。从2017年开始，当地呢就有10几家啊这个女性莫名其妙的丢失过这个内衣内裤。到2019年的时候呢，这个犯罪活动就进一步的升级了。有2名女性啊，在深夜在家里睡觉的时候，就家里被人闯入，把她们的这个眼睛啊蒙起来啊，绑在床上，之后呢就被攻击啊，被拍裸照。
In November of 2009, a young lady by the name of Marie-France Como, was found murdered in her home in Brighton.Marie-France
Como 呢也是一名在基地工作的这个女兵啊，2009年的11月23号在家中遇袭身亡啊，去世之前呢是经历过非常惨烈的这个搏斗的，最终呢不敌啊，被性侵多次之后最终是窒息死亡。她的这个尸体啊只是被人简单的处理了一下之后就留在她的这个卧室里面，留在家里面了。
And we believe that there was a sexual component to that crime as well. And then most recently we have Jessica Lloyd's disappearance. Okay, so essentially when you're looking at those kind of crimes, we're looking at a number of different potential criminal charges. All right, we're looking at issues all the way from the most serious one, which is first-degree murder, kidnapping, sexual assault, break and enter with intent to commit sexual assault, forcible confinement. Okay. And so what I want to make sure you understand, and this is what we've been doing with everybody we've been talking to, is that clearly when we find out who's responsible for one or all of those crimes, they could be charged with one or all of those offenses, okay, whether it's you or whether it's anybody else, all right? And that's why it's important that we make sure that people understand what they have to do and what they don't have to do when they're talking to us, okay? So as I said before, any point today you feel the need, you want to speak to a lawyer, you let me know, and we can take you to a room where you can do that in private, okay?
Okay.
Do you have your own lawyer?
I have a realty lawyer, but
okay.
No, I don't have a lawyer.
All right. If at any point you want to make that call and you don't know who to call, we have a phone list of lawyers that are available to give you advice free of charge right over the phone. Okay. So again, if at any point today you want to take advantage of that, you just let me know.
Sure.
Is there any reason you want to call a lawyer now?
Nope.
Okay. You don't have to speak to me today. Okay.
Okay.
And the reason for that is because the law considers me to be what we refer to as a person of authority. Okay. Probably similar to what you may be considered to be on the base. And because of that, I can be compelled to appear before any judge in the country, basically, to account for what takes place here today between you and I. Okay, and that's the reason why everything's recorded, because there can't be any more accurate record than that, right? So.
No, understood.
And the other thing I want to make sure you understand is that you mentioned a second ago about Miss Como being one of your work associates.
加拿大警方的这个审问专家啊，似乎特别喜欢跟人玩这种心理的这个游戏。我们知道审问一个人的时候，他还是有一些什么权利啊，你是要必须很清楚的告诉他的。在美国呢，警察一般来说就会非常正式的拿一张纸啊，当着你的面老老实实的把这个纸一条一条的念给你听，然后给你解释，然后最终你要签字。就这一套弄完之后，我们再说案情啊什么的审问的这些事情。而在加拿大啊，当然肯定这是因为他们这个两国的法律不同啊，他们这么做肯定是合法的，受到加拿大的这个法律的去保护允许的。他们总是不会好好的把这个权利宣读完，往往都是先说一点你的权利，然后立马转折开始说案情，把这个案情说的越严重越好，然后再回来给你说权利，然后说两句再转到这个案情上面。这个目的呢，一是不想让这个什么找律师呀，什么你的权利啊这些东西就太 sink in， 就太沉入你的这个思考的这个，就是不想让你想太多这方面的这个事情。另外呢，就是在这个阶段，他把就是你的权利和这个事情这个案情的这个紧急啊严重的这个程度对立起来。虽然他不说出来啊，但是给你的心理暗示就是你看这么严重的一个案子，现在找到你了，你就好好的配合我们吧，对吧？我们做的也都合情合理嘛，对吧？你想找律师呢你就找，但是这样的嫌疑不会很大吗？你自己想。但是我这里还是要奉劝大家一句，如果说大家被牵扯到被指控了很严重的这种案件啊，如果你觉得你哪怕是稍微有一丝丝跟这个案件是有关系的， 你现在已经坐在审讯室里面了的情况下，请一定赶紧找律师。
You know, you've kind of almost hit the nail on the head about some of our issues that kind of make us want to talk to Russell Williams, okay? Because essentially there's a connection between you and all 4 of those cases. Would you agree? Geographically,
and then I guess I drive past. Yes, I would have to say there's a connection.
上校这里这个有点摇头晃脑的这个动作啊，在亚洲其实并不常见啊，所以有些人可能并不太清楚这个是什么意思啊。他这个动作，北美的这个白人啊是经常做的，有些时候可能还会再加上手啊，就是意思就是啊 give and take 啊 more or less 啊，就是差不多吧，可能吧，就那个感觉的意思。
Yeah, and that's why I'll be quite frank with you. That's why things kind of evolved when the officers talked to you on Thursday night.
Okay.
We kind of went from there because when I think you discussed with them the fact that you were a colonel at the base.
I was in uniform at the time, so.
Yeah, so pretty obvious, right?
Yeah.
So essentially, then the connection with Miss Como was made, and I believe you're a door or 2 down from one of those 2 incidents in Tweed.
3 doors down, yeah.
Yeah.
Very close, absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. So those are some of the issues we wanted to discuss with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Friday on the day, I was. Friday on the day, I was at home most of the time. Most of the day, I had a sort of a stomach flu.
Okay.
大家注意啊，他刚才是看向左边的。大家有可能在哪里也都听说过什么看左边啊看右边啊代表着一个人是说谎啊或者说我们说真话的这个理论啊。当然这个理论啊实际上目前争议非常的大啊，所以不管他是看哪一边，实际上你都没有办法去肯定的去做这个决定啊，他是在说真话还是说假话。最多呢就是你可以马上作为一个参考啊。这里我想跟大家说的是啊，就看左看右啊，什么说真话说假话啊，跟这个人是左撇子还是右撇子是有关系的。你像 Russell 啊，他在拿咖啡的时候他用的是左手，他坐在这里的时候他也是左手抓着右手的这个手腕，所以有可能啊他是一个左撇子。这个资料我并没有查到，纯粹是基于观察的一个猜测。右撇子的人看向左边的时候呢应该是在说真话，而左撇子的人看向左边的时候实际上就有可能啊是在撒谎。总之呢就是人看向惯用手这一侧的时候是有可能是在撒谎的，而我们的上校呢是看向左边的，而他的惯用手呢可能是左边。
Thursday night you slept at Tweed or you?
Yep.
All right. And what did you do Thursday during the day?
Thursday during the day I was at the base again. I think it was a fairly standard day. I can't recall exactly, but...
Okay. Do you remember what time you left the base that night?
I don't remember anything peculiar, so I would say, I don't know, probably 7 to 9, somewhere in that range.
Okay. And that's when you left?
Left the base, yeah.
And what
That's a 45-minute transit. So.
45 minutes home?
Yeah.
Okay.
这边的这个举动就更加可疑一点了啊！就首先跟上面不同的时候，他在说这一段话的时候，眼睛全程都是没有在看向面前的这个警察的。然后他在说话的时候有这个摇头的这个动作，你除了在印度之外，人基本上都是点头 yes 摇头 no 嘛。那么他现在是在回忆过去的这个事情，嘴巴上说的是肯定的这个事情嘛，但是头呢却在不自主的微微的在摇，这表示他是不肯定的。这个一般在审讯心理学上就会说这个人的 verbals and non-verbals are not synchronized， 就是他的这个言行啊不一致。就比如说你问我是不是叫 Eric 啊，是的我是叫 Eric 和是的我是叫 Eric， 这就后者就明显是言行不一致，他就有撒谎的这个嫌疑。另外你看他说话的这个时候，他这个头啊和身体啊他都在动，但是他这个左手呢就紧紧的抓住右手的这个手腕，这也是有点问题的。就同时我们观察一下审问的这个警察呢，他全程啊眼睛是几乎 眨也不眨的一下就死盯着这个上校看，所以上校的这些行为啊，这些举动他肯定也是看在眼里了，而且他还有刻意的就这个 mimicking 就是模仿上校抓手腕的这个举动啊，去拉近跟对方之间的这个距离。在初步的了解了一些关于 Jessica 这个案件的信息之后啊，警察也就转到去年就是09年遇害的另外一个女兵的那个案件上了，就是刚才提到那个 Maurice Franz Como。为了方便嘛，咱以后叫短一点，咱就叫他 Marie 吧，好吧。
Okay. Now, I'm not going to walk you through November, but I'm going to take you to a date that's probably pretty fresh in your mind. The day that Marie Franz Como.
Yeah.
Do you remember how you found out?
I do. Yeah, I was sent an email. Well, as soon as the ops staff and the base learned, they told me.
Now, you got that email notifying you that something had happened.
Yeah.
Do you have any kind of a clear recollection as to how your schedule was going that week?
Well, I can't remember what day that the message came in. Just a second. No, I can't remember what day of the week, but I just think there was a whole bunch of activity spun up as a result, obviously. No, I can't remember the day of the week. I'm just trying to think through the news reports I read. No, I'm sorry, I can't remember what day that was, but what we learned after the fact was that the MPs had learnt of her death, I think quite a bit after her body had been discovered.
OK。上校这一段的反应是非常不对劲的啊，因为 Marie 的这个案件呢是去年11月份发生的。如果你问我3个月之前的某一周我都干了些什么，我估计也想不起来。因为如果我跟这个案件无关的话，那么这个案件发生的那个时间啊，就可能对你警察来说非常重要，当然对于受害者和他的家属来说也都是非常重要的。但是对我来说，不过就是我普通生活中间的一天或者一周嘛。就是说如果我与这个案件无关的话，那一周啊对我来说没有任何特别的地方，无非是我作为这个基地的这个高层啊，有女兵出事之后有人通知到了我知道这个事情，但是具体是什么时间我想不起来是非常正常的。但是我们这个上校的反应是想不起来他就硬想，也没有说去问一些问题，比如说他是哪一天出事的来着，就在那儿硬想。好，另一种解释呢，就是说我知道这个案件大概发生的时间，我呢只是具体想不起来我那周啊我干了些什么了。那你也应该能想起来，所以就说一个大概嘛，对吧？那一段时间我大概都在干什么，比如说11月底的时候，我好像都在忙一些什么什么事情。他也没有给出这种答复，而他的这个反应啊，就是说了3次，我想不起来，我记不清了，而且每一次之间啊都有一个非常长的一个停顿，最长的一个停顿我估计可能得差不多10秒吧。这个给我的感觉是什么？就是他知道他那周在干什么，只是啊他这个大脑在高速运转之后，他决定不说。之后呢，其实他稍微有点犹豫啊，要不要说，而考虑到不行，说了就是打开口子了，因为他也不知道警察到底在这个案件上掌握了什么信息，对吧？那么还是不说为妙。犹豫了好几下，所以说了3次啊，我不知道。最后他看向警察，发现警察就采取这个 pause technique 啊，就是执行的非常好，就一动不动，死死的盯着他看。然后他瞬间有点心虚，然后以疑问的口气说了一句：“我觉得宪兵知道他的这个事情是在他遗体被发现过了一段时间之后。”我要是警察，我心里活动就是你是在问我是吧？你宪兵什么时候知道，我怎么知道？他这里的这个实际上是个疑问句啊，是能代表出来他当时有一点点慌了。说出这个话呢，实际上他是在寻找认同。另外更重要的是什么？就是警察问的这个问题是你那周在干什么，而他说的是我觉得宪兵知道他这个事情是在他的遗体被发现一段时间之后。这并没有回答警察的问题啊，反而我告诉你啊，暴露出来了他自己刚才犹豫那段时间在想什么。他很有可能在那个时候大脑里在想的就是那个事情发生的时间线，就是前后发生的顺序啊什么的这些，以便后面如果说再进一步的被警察问到的时候，他逻辑上不要出错。
So that particular week, Do you have any recollection? Well, for instance, when you got the email,
Yeah.
do you remember where you were?
I was at home in Tweed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you remember if that was a week that you were reasonably stable in Trenton, or had you flown?
No, I
there?
had been in Ottawa. I had been in Ottawa earlier in the week for some meetings over in Gatineau for one of the, it's actually for the C-17 acquisition. I was project director when I was here in Ottawa for that, so just some follow-up stuff for that.
你看啊，人家刚才问他啊，他犹犹豫豫的，他说他想不起来，你这不就想起来了吗？去买飞机去了吗？而且大家注意，到现在为止啊，警察也没有说是11月的，是具体的是哪一周，他很清楚警察说的是哪一周。
So if we were to do a similar investigation in your background, is there anything you can think of that anybody may have misinterpreted, or anything in your history that somebody might say Russell Williams
Absolutely.
did this?
No.
Okay.
Be very boring.
What's that?
It'll be very boring.
警察问你有没有做什么事情可能会导致别人认为这些案子是你干的，我们上校的回答是那就太无聊了。这个回答很新颖啊。
Do you get much chance to watch television shows, CSI, things like that?
I do watch, I prefer Law and Order, but I do watch CSI occasionally, yes.
Okay. So you have an idea of, obviously, the forensic capabilities, things like that are out there. What would you be willing to give me today to help me move past you in this investigation?
What do you need?
Well, would you be willing to supply things like fingerprints, blood samples,
Sure.
things like that?
Yeah.
Okay. Footwear impressions?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I think that's what we're gonna ask you to do.
Okay.
All right.
Can I assume you're going to be discreet?
It's possible. Yeah.
Because, this would have a very significant impact on the base if they thought you thought I did this.
Well, bottom line, Russell, that's one of the reasons we're here on a Sunday afternoon. Now that you've had some time to, I know we've been throwing a lot of things at you here, but now you've had some time to think about things. Is there anything that you're concerned about that buccal swab matching in any of those 4 residences? Is there? Are you familiar with how DNA works?
I think broadly, yes, I would guess so.
One of the challenges we have in 2010 with DNA is it's become so precise that I guess the best way to explain it is I can think back 15 years ago when I started in violent crime investigation.
Yeah.
For us to get a DNA match, the sample we had to find was, probably would have filled half of one of these cups.
Okay.
Because they destroy so much of the sample in the testing.
Okay.
Essentially, DNA has become more and more precise to the point where when you and I walked in this room earlier today, we could have sat down, talked for 30 seconds, walked out. CSI officer could have come in 3-4 days from now, did some swabs here, and he would have found your DNA and my DNA, and probably a lot of other people's DNA.
Sure.
A little bit gross to think about, but essentially, as we talk, a little bit aspirate comes out of our mouth that contains our DNA, or bloods, or our skin cells contain our DNA, and that's what I'm getting at. If you were ever in Laurie's residence, quite possibly, quite innocently, your DNA could be in that residence. Has there ever been a time you've been in there?
No.
Okay. What about the other lady down the road on?
I hadn't even heard that name, so no, I don't actually know who that was.
Okay. Have you ever visited Marie France Como at her residence?
No.
Okay. All right. So you're quite positive there would be no reason why your DNA would be in any of those 3 locations. Okay. Did you know Jessica Lloyd even in passing for any reason?
No, I didn't hear her name till it was on the news.
Ever seen her before?
I don't. No, I would say I have not.
这里呢是在利用我们上期刚刚讲过的那个 CSI effect 啊 ，CSI 效应，就是目的呢是去增加它的那种不确定感啊，但是还是过于夸大了这个采集 DNA 的这个能力啊。虽然说通过这个口腔拭子啊和大量的这个口水呢是可以采集到 DNA， 就它采集到白细胞就相当于采集到 DNA 啊，但是不代表这个微量的这个非溅口水啊也是可以采集到 DNA 的。在物证鉴识方面啊，这个领域啊，近些年来呢，比如说像什么 touch DNA 啊，也就是接触性 DNA， 也就是刚才警察说的那种通过分期人啊留在分期现场的这个表皮组织，和什么像 low copy number DNA， 也就被缩写成为 LCN-DNA 啊，也就微量 DNA 的这个检测。比如说前段时间讲的那 Casey 那个案件中间，通过分析这个粘在受害者这个女儿脸上的那个胶带去看上面的这个 DNA， 这种呢就是微量 DNA 的这个检测。但是啊，目前来说呢，就是因为样本污染的这个原因啊，这些检测呢结果还是不是特别的准确啊，更多呢是用于去排除嫌疑人，而不是说在法庭上去控告嫌疑人。像这样的证据在法庭上你如果去控告一个人，法庭基本上是不会去接受的。不像警察说的那种就十拿九稳的这种感觉啊，这里就让我想起来了，那个在 Jennifer Pan 那个案件里面，也是加拿大的案子嘛。那个审讯专家是更夸张啊，他骗 Jennifer 说是卫星可以24小时的去热感扫描你家里，还能拍到每一个人每时每刻在房间里面都在干些什么。就加拿大警察这一套玩的非常的娴熟啊。
Tires do you have on your Pathfinder?
I think they're Toyo.
Okay. Do you know the brand name or sorry the
I think
make?
that is I don't remember. Sorry, the make is Toyo.
Yeah.
I don't know the model.
Okay.
我前面提到过，轮胎呢是警察最先掌握到一个可以跟他联系起来的一个证据啊，因为他开的这个车的轮胎跟受害者就是家外面的那个轮胎印的那个轮胎是一样的，警察很明显在这一点上是要做一些文章的。而我们看这个时候的上校，他的这个两只手已经最开始的时候是完全分开的啊，到后面是一只手抓着另外一个手的这个手腕，到现在呢已经是完全双手抱在胸前。而且他还有含胸的这种动作，就是越来越自我保护，就越来越就 self soothing 啊，越来越自我安慰了的这个感觉。
I'll read this off to you, see if it rings a bell. Ever heard of does Toyo Open Country HTS?
Yeah, it sounds
Make any
right.
sense?
Yeah.
Okay. When did you have those tires put on your Pathfinder?
Well, it's the second version we've had of them, so I think it might have been this past fall. They replaced other ones we'd had on the same.
When you get stopped at that location, has there been a time in the recent 1 or 2 weeks that your vehicle has left that road for any reason whatsoever? Have you driven into a field with your vehicle at all? For any reason you can think of?
No.
Okay. Because I want you to rack your brain here. This is important. So,
Yeah.
is there anything you can remember doing that would have caused you to drive off the road
No.
at that section of roadway?
No, that's my early. That's the early part of the highway, and just head north. It's about 30 minutes from there to. Probably 20 from there to my house.
Okay. Would it surprise you to know that when the CSI officers were looking around her property, that they identified a set of tire tracks to the north of her property? Looks as if the vehicle left the road and drove along the north tree line of Jessica Lloyd's property. Okay. They took they examined those tire tracks. They identified those tires as the same tires on your Pathfinder.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. There was a female police officer that actually drove by that location that evening and recalls seeing an SUV type vehicle in the field to the north of Jessica Lloyd's house, consistent with a Pathfinder.
Okay.
Could maybe consistent with other things, but consistent with a Pathfinder. Do you have any recollection at all of being off that road?
I was not off the road, no.
Okay. You have any questions for me right now?
No.
Okay. I'm just going to step out and see how things are going, okay?
Okay.
I mean, it is a Sunday, but there's probably 60, 70 people working on this file, so there's a lot of things happening.
Sure.
So let me go out and see what's happening, and then I'll come back in and we'll hopefully continue, okay?
警察拿车轮胎的这个证据跟他对峙之后啊，并没有去进一步的这个施压，反而是出去了一会儿啊。这个其实也可以理解啊，因为车轮胎这个事情嘛，就是它 有一样的太正常了。虽然说上下的这个车轮胎它也换过，它不是原厂的那个轮胎啊，它换成一个特定类型的一个轮胎，但这个轮胎也不是说独一无二的，也不是他自己造的，外面就买得到嘛。所以其实能看得出来上校现在很紧张了，因为他在那一段去警察说话的时候，他接警察的这个话接得特别的快。他接这么快是因为警察说的这个是不是他想听到的话，但是确实也没有办法拿这个事儿来作为证据啊，说他一定跟本案是有关的。于是呢，这个警察借口离开一会儿，这个是个常见的一个套路啊。回来之后呢，一般都会抱着一个文件夹啊，装作有新的证据的这个感觉啊。我们再看看。
I told you when I came in here that I'm going to treat you with respect, and I've asked you to do the same for me. But the problem is, Russell, is every time I walk out of this room, there's another issue that comes up, okay?And it's not issues that point away from you, it's issues that point at you, okay?
警察回来之后吧，你看这个口气啊，明显呢是感觉变了，感觉呢这是要正式的进入这个对峙阶段了。那警察又掌握了什么证据，突然间就感觉信心十足了呢？我们下周再看，好吗？好，感谢大家的观看，我是 Eric 长安万年，我们下周再见啦，拜拜。